Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode we had the draft in the re-sign stage, and it was probably, I'd say, our toughest re-sign stage ever of this franchise mode series so far. And the reason being is because we had to let go of Calvin Shelley, and we also let go of a couple other players. And our team is definitely starting to fall apart a little bit in terms of depth, at least, I'd say. We do still have Geeky around, which is good. We do still have Armsden, Spaulding, and Appleby, McElhaney, those type of guys. We also still do have Agostino, which is good because obviously he's my favorite player of this franchise mode series so far. We also do have Shishkinov still signed for at least one more season. Michkov is still here, Kagorodov is, Yoshimura is, and Lynch is going to get a chance to play in the NHL this season, which is nice. And our defensive core is still pretty strong, but we did have to let go of Collins, who was our offensive defenseman that we brought in last offseason. Unfortunately, he was just demanding way too much money. Like, he wanted like $15-16 million, which would eat up the rest of the cap space we have. So our team is definitely going to take a little bit of a hit, I think, this season, but our team should still do decently for the most part. We do also still have a couple of RFAs that are qualified, like Donovan, who's going to eat up a good chunk of money, and Voloshenko, who shouldn't be too expensive, I'd say. The more expensive one is going to be Donovan, who's probably going to get at least $3 million, maybe $4 million this offseason. So technically we're only at like $13 million in cap space, I'd say. And then with Voloshenko, that should be another $2 million at most, I'd say. So maybe like $11 million in cap space for free agent signings, but losing Calvin Shelley to free agency is probably the toughest part about last episode for sure, because obviously he's been with his team since the very beginning of his career, and now he's going to find a home somewhere else for the last year of his career, more than likely. As you can see, he only wants 1 year left, but we can't afford to give him $5.6 million, especially with our current cap situation. So hopefully he goes on to sign somewhere and has a chance to win a Stanley Cup if we don't win a Stanley Cup this season. But anyways, before we get into free agency and simulating half of the season, because I want to get half of the season at least done in this episode, we do have one comment to go over, and that is from HockeyGuy88. He says, unfortunately, you don't really have the space in to bring anyone in too big. Just find 2 affordable D-men and 2 affordable third/fourth liners. Keaton Thomas should definitely be a guy you bring in. Also, don't forget to bring in a new head coach, because we did lose our head coach also to retirement. That was another thing that happened in the last episode. So we did have a lot of big things happen. And then also Nico Hischier would be a cool, kind of a cool sign if he is any good, and he could work well with your players. So yeah, we're going to look into probably bringing in Nico Hischier depending on how he does, because I didn't actually look into really how good he played over the last few seasons. And then also Keaton Thomas is definitely going to be something we definitely bring in. And then we need to find ourselves 2 affordable defensemen, just because we did let go of like McGrath, for example, because he was demanding a decent amount of money. And also I don't really like his character. So basically right now, you can see that Fairchild and Bilesma would more than likely be our top 2. Sasaki and Burkhoff would be our top 4. So we'd be a little bit weak on that sense. So we definitely want to find somebody that's like maybe around a 79 or an 80, maybe a little bit above that if we can, to get into that top 4 spot to play with Sasaki. And then we just need to find somebody to play with Burkov, and then maybe a depth defenseman as well, actually. So I should write that down as well. So let me write down 1 depth D just in case. So yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll find ourselves a depth defenseman that's like a 78, I'd say. We'd find at least another top 6 that's like a 79, and then maybe find a top 4 if we could afford it. I don't know if we really will be able to, but we might as well take a look and see if we could find something. So let's start off with those 2 forwards first, though. Keaton Thomas is going to be the first one, which I think he was a winger. Actually, let's just go to forwards just to make it a little bit easier. I think he was a winger, if I'm not mistaken. Don't remember how much he was wanting, but he's going to be probably our replacement for Shelley, because he's a much cheaper option, because we can't afford to give $5 million. Oh yeah, he wanted only $19.50. He's an 82, 31 years of age, coming off of a couple actually decent seasons, I'd say. 30-point seasons aren't really that bad, with not a lot of power play time especially. And in his only playoff appearance, he was 4 points in 5 games, which is pretty damn good. So we'll sign him up, and we will give him 2 years, I think, as well, just because maybe not because of his age. I don't know. He might drop off. But he might have a really good season too. You know what, we're going to do 2 years at 1950. I'm fine with giving him multiple years. It's a cheap contract. It's movable as well, so it's not the end of the world if for some reason it kind of backfires a bit. And then Nico Hischier for centers. What did Hischier want? Because Hischier might be the best option for our fourth line as well. And then we need to find ourselves a new head coach. This is going to be expensive off season for that. Hopefully we can find somebody decent for that head coaching job. Where is Nico Hischier? Am I blind? Oh wait, maybe he's not listed as a center, or he should be. Or maybe it was a different Hischier, not Nico Hischier. No, he said Nico Hischier. Okay, so let me just sort this by forwards again. Let's go alphabetically because I can't find them. I don't know if it's just because I'm recording this after work. I'm actually recording this the day you guys would have seen the last episode. So if anybody commented after 7 o'clock Eastern, I do apologize. I just wanted to get this recorded ahead of time because I am very curious to see what this team is like this upcoming season, because it's definitely our biggest off-season changes, I'd say, in a while. Like, I mean, last off-season we made a lot of trades. This off-season is more about trying to fit our team under this cap space. So hopefully we could have some cap space at least going into next season, so that way we can maybe make some potential trades at the deadline if we are in the spot that we need to kind of make trades to contend in, you know. Okay, this is taking a long time to get to this damn H. Why is it taking so long to get to this point? These guys are all free agents, huh? We should be almost at H's, right? Unless there's a lot of G's. Man, this game is kind of dumb. You should be able to search the free agent instead. Let's see. We're almost there, I think. Come on. What is Nico Hischier even wanting? Hopefully it's a cheap contract and we can just sign him for a fourth line. Because why not bring in a vet? Wait. Oh, wait, no, it's H-I-S. I was saying H-I-C for some reason in my head. Oh, it's one of those days, guys. It's one of those days. I don't even see him. Oh, maybe he was on the trading block. He might have been on the trading block. Was he? Maybe that's why Hawks fan was mentioning him. I don't know where Hawks fan got Hischier from. So I'm trying to see where the heck he is. I should have maybe looked at this before I started recording this episode, because or else I'm going to spend a ton of time just trying to find out where he is. Actually, let's just go to the find player option instead, because I am done looking to see where the heck he is, because this is just taking too long. Okay, Hischier, are you a free agent or are you a guy that's on the block? You are not even a player. So I don't know what Hawks fan meant by Nico Hischier. Maybe it's different. No, that's how you would spell it. Okay, never mind about Nico Hischier, because I don't know where Nico Hischier came from. Maybe he must have been watching something else at the same time. Okay, but let's go to free agents and try and find another third or fourth liner. See what we could get here. So let's go forwards. Maybe he met somebody else. I don't know who he met though. It's the only thing. Let's try and find ourselves a fourth liner, and let's try and find a center, I guess, since Thomas is a right winger. Let's go down here. We got some depth forwards that we could use for a fourth line role. Mikanov is a sniper, which I don't really want to have a sniper on the fourth line. I would rather a two-way forward, I think. Arvolchenko is there, so that's not one to sign. Maybe Raleigh. Brandon Raleigh, 92 defensive awareness, good for the fourth line as well. 26 points last year in Minnesota, that's pretty decent. Let's sign him up, why not? I'll give him a one-year deal. It's a bit of an expensive contract for a fourth liner, but at least it's only one season, so let's try and give him 3.3 for one season. And hopefully he accepts that. So those will be our two forward signings. Defensively, we need to find ourselves, like I said, maybe a top 4, a top 6, and a depth defenseman. So the cheapest top 4 is a 79, which is not really that great. Man, top 4s are expensive. Yeah, I guess we won't be able to get a top 4 yet. We'll probably just sign somebody that's like a cheap option, and then we could upgrade at the deadline instead, because I don't really feel like giving out $5 million plus to a top 4. Cormier's 37, so I should probably not sign him. Graham, probably not the best option, but we'll sign him since he's cheap. We just need some really cheap options that are not too old. Hey, look, it's Jose Festerling again. Do we want to bring back Jose Festerling? Probably not. Graham is a lefty, so I should probably... maybe I could sign Festerling, but he wants almost $3 million, or 2.5 almost. That's a bit too expensive. I will bring back Ariel Armsden, I think, as one of our depth defensemen. He wants under $1 million, which is nice too. He was with the team last season. I don't remember if he got to play any games or not. And we need one more defenseman, and preferably right-handed. Maybe Marvin Austin. 93 defensive awareness. I do like that. We'll sign him up as well, maybe. No, he wants 2.95. 2.95, and you only played 12 games last year. Why? That's a bit of a weird one. So I'm not going to sign him. I need to find a right-handed one if possible. Right-handed OFD and Tyler Okposo. We might as well sign this guy, because I think I would actually play this guy maybe on the power play. But he is kind of expensive, though. Do we have the cap space for him? I think we should have the cap space for him. I'm going to give him a 1-year deal. And I'm going to put this guy on our power play unit. Because he's got good offensive awareness. And if he does go with good offensive awareness and stuff like that, it might be worth it for the power play unit. So, there you go. Those are our 3 defensemen and the 2 forwards we're offering contracts to. Let's advance a few days and see what happens. I won't sign the coach till the start of the season, I think, just because that way we know what our roster is for scheme fit. So, Armsden is accepted, Okposo is accepted, Thomas is accepted, Graham's accepted, and Brandon Raleigh is accepted. Perfect. So we got our 5 players that we want for this roster. Let's begin the sim up to next season, and Volchenko should accept soon. I'm not sure about our goaltender, though. We'll see if we get any qualifying offers sent to him as well. And yeah, at the start of the season as well, after we take a look at signing ourselves a coach, we will probably also see where Shelley signed, if he did sign anywhere, which we already just found out where he signed. Apparently he signed in Colorado, which they're automatically trying to trade him to me, which is kind of funny, for a second, a third, and Kuleshov. I would do that if he wasn't getting paid over $5 million. But he signed with the Colorado Avalanche, huh? I wonder if he's going to get dealt, though. One of our high elite potential goalies. Don't want to give up them. No, thank you. I'm just going to keep rejecting all these offers, because a lot of them are just don't make sense. So, okay, let's go back to the RFAs, because we should be able to give them some okay contracts. We do have $13 million to re-sign them, which should be enough. Yeah, 1975 is good for Volchenko. And yeah, I guess we'll do 4.225 for Donovan, even though that's a bit expensive. It's okay with me. Let's actually look at the coaches' options. Yeah, we'll do it at the start of the preseason just to make it a little bit easier. So Donovan and Volchenko have accepted, which is perfect. And yeah, we'll make sure that Shelley is still in Colorado at the beginning of the year. But that's not exactly where I was expecting him to go, but kind of makes sense. Okay, who do we have to scratch? Let me just go best lines for a second, make sure nobody needs to be called up. Which I don't think so, which is good. Galiev is down there, which is exactly what I wanted for now. Let's get Armsden up in the lineup, because Armsden is our top 6 center, or one of our top 6 centers. And yeah, we could put Yoshimura actually on the right side and Kagurov on the left, just because he's on his off wing. Actually, no, I kind of want to go like this still. And that doesn't do good chemistry wise though. But that does do good for a youngster and Lynch. Yeah, you know what? We're going to give Yoshimura second line ice time this year. I think he needs it. And then if Lynch isn't actually an 82 already, that's a really big, nice upgrade, because with Shelley being out, obviously we need him to step up. Thomas on the 4th line, I don't really know if I like that. So, who plays face-off wise? Lynch didn't play face-offs. Who else we got here? Do I want to move somebody down in terms of face-offs, like Yoshimura as the centerman? And then we could try going back to the Kagurov. This one? Yeah, let's just go back to this. Try Yoshimura as center instead, just to give us better center depth. And then we could try that instead. Yeah, something like that maybe. Wait, who's better face-off wise? 77. Volchenko is at 79. Okay, we'll do something like that, I think, for our lineup. Unless actually Spalling's good at face-offs, right? 80, yep. Okay, that's good. That's what our fourth line is going to look like, and that's what our team is going to look like. Defensively, I think that looks fine. Definitely it looks a little bit weak, but like I said, if we need to, we could upgrade at the deadline for a better defenseman. Because we do have the cap space. Donovan and Career looks good as goaltenders. And let's see, Okposo, you need to get some power play time instead of Burkov, I think. Just because you have that offensive awareness, and I want to kind of play with that and see if you could score a lot of goals and assist on a lot of power play stuff for us. Kind of be what that one guy was for us last season. Which for some reason I'm drawing a blank on his name. Okay, there we go. That's what our team looks like for the season. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what this team could do. We're going to call up one more depth forward, who is the best players in the AHL. I will call up McElhaney as our depth forward. Even though that makes the AHL team a little bit worse. Gives us another guy that could get thrown into the lineup at any point. And Devereaux will go as the center on that top line in the minors, because he's our best potential prospect down there. Perfect. We are ready to go. The only thing we need is a new coach, because they did sign us a coach, but it's probably not the best coach for us. So let's do that first, and we'll also see if Shelley is in Colorado, and then we'll simulate halfway through the season. So hopefully this episode's not too long for you guys. They signed as Bonnet. 62% is not bad. That guy might actually be the best option for our team. Let's go down to see what we got for cheaper coaches that have better scheme fits, if there's one. 64. This guy's only 46 years of age as well. He doesn't work well with Agostino and Mishkov, though. Because that should be a key with this team. I wonder how Agostino and Mishkov are going to do with a new coach. This guy works, or this girl, I should say, or woman, works really good with Agostino and Mishkov. So I think I'm going to, actually, she's 65, even though she doesn't look like she's 65. No, I'm not trying to hit on our coach. What do we got here? 66, Randy, 47 years of age only. That guy is our new head coach, I think. Or we'll send him as an assistant coach. Do we have the money for him? No, we don't right now. We'll go NHL head coach, and we'll just bump this up a little bit. And we'll see if he accepts that. That guy only works as a defensive coach, though, really. But he does work really well, looks like, for the most part. I don't know if we should just see how this coach simulates first. This guy's got good A+ stats. Has he ever won a Stanley Cup as a head coach? Because I'm kind of curious on that. He's had some really good seasons. Actually, last year he had 50 wins with the Rangers. But he's never won a Stanley Cup in the playoffs. His playoff record's not great, but regular season's decent. You know what? We're going to run with this coach. I don't care if the other guy wants to accept or not. We are going to run with this coach for now. And if for some reason this team starts to backfire, then we will make a coaching change. But I'm going to see if the AI actually signed me the best possible coach that this team needs. And I actually quickly want to check where Shelley signed, if he actually did sign in Colorado fully. Because maybe he got dealt before the season started, because that does happen sometimes. Sometimes the AI just signs players and then they trade them right away. So is Shelley a member of the Avs, which is kind of weird. But I mean, that's where Stefan Pettersson was at one point. Yep, he's still in Colorado. Dropped down to an 83. Ugh. Yeah, I think he's going to retire this year, guys. I really do. I really do. Let's take a look at what he looks like in a Colorado uniform, just to make me have my eyes bleed, you know. And there he is. He's going to be like their third liner, just like he was with us. Oh, man, that looks weird as hell. He's going to be number 18 probably over there. He was number 20 with us. Because 18, I believe, was already taken or something. Oh, man, that looks weird. Oh, man. I'm cringing just looking at that. I mean, it looks cool, though, actually. It does suit him. But it kind of sucks because he's been with us for over 1,000 games. He's had over 500 goals with us, so we'll see what he could do. Of course, it's in our division that he signs, though. So we're going to be having to play him a lot. So, and that guy rejects, of course, because we already have a head coach. But, yeah, let's see what this coach is made of. And like I said, if we're, like, playing terribly, which we shouldn't play that bad, then we'll look at getting a new coach. 4-1-2 in the preseason, that's pretty solid. Michkov had 11 points in 7 games, so hopefully that is a sign of things to come. Hopefully him and Agostino could still do good with a new coach, because that one coach that we lost to retirement, I believe, was with them for most of their career, at least in Arizona. Let's start off by going a month at a time. Like I said, I do want to go to 41 games, though. See how this team does by that point. And we're starting off this season really good defensively, and then we have an injury, of course, to that guy we signed for the 4th line, so we'll go replace player. But in our first 3 games, we only allowed 1 goal. That's pretty damn impressive. And then, of course, after that happens, we suffer a few losses when that injury happened. So Raleigh's back in. Perfect. But yeah, our team's off to a good start. That's always good to see. 5-1-1 with the new coach so far. How's it looking? 7 games in. Michkov's got 11 points. Okay, so looks like those guys are doing still good with the new coach. That's great to see. Let's continue to simulate 1 month at a time, but we will go to game 41. Or to start at game 42, I guess I should say. But yeah, this team's off to a good start. Just got to keep it up all year round, and hopefully, I mean, we've won 3 straight President's Trophies, so I really hope we don't win another President's Trophy this year, though, because we haven't won a Stanley Cup since we've won all these Presidents, right? So, oh no, that's not good, but at least it's only for like a week. Michkov has been injured with a pulled groin, so that's a pretty big loss. Obviously, our best player on our team, I'd say, other than Agostino, but at least he's only out for like a week. 13-6-3, we kind of slid a little bit, I'd say, but Michkov has got 36 points in 22 games. What the heck? 22 goals in 22 games. Well, when he comes back from injury, I hope he's the same player, because if he could score 50 goals in 50 games, that would be unreal. This might be one of the last years of his career, too, so. Well, let's keep on simulating. We're only 22 games into the year. So let's keep on going. But yeah, once Michkov returns, I really hope he keeps on scoring. But we're getting a lot of shutouts so far this season. I've seen at least 3 of them, which means the team's been doing good defensively, which is not something I expected because we don't actually have that great of a defensive core yet. Michkov is now a 94, and he's dropped down to exact elite potential. He was the exact franchise at one point, so is he going to retire in a few years only? Because that could happen, which would be kind of scary. Obviously, we do not want to lose him to retirement, but it might honestly happen. Him and Agostino could retire within the next 2 to 3 years or less even, which would be detrimental to this team. But we are getting close to the end of the franchise mode anyways, so 25-8-3 at January the 1st. That's a total of 36 games, which means we have another 5 games to go. So let's go all the way to the start of this Jets game, and then that will be halfway point of the season. And we'll take a look at our player stats and team stats so far, as Donovan has been injured with a hip pointer. Damn, that sucks. And out till March the 28th. Yikes. Well, I'm glad I still have Galiev at least in the system, but Galiev might have to go through waivers afterwards once the return happens, but that's a pretty big loss. So we're going to rely on our former goaltending tandem in Korea and Galiev, as we do have that injury for over a month. So do we look at getting another goalie just in case Galiev gets claimed on waivers at some point? Because that's a big loss to Donovan. He has 5 shutouts so far this season. And it's just him that's getting the shutouts, it seems like, not just Korea. But our team is off to a fantastic start. Are we going to have 30 wins already? No, we're not. There's another shutout, though. 29, 8-4. What a start to the year. Our new head coach is actually doing a really good job. Michkov's got 33 goals in his first 38 games, 55 points. My God. And we're first in the entire league almost, except for, looks like the Bruins are ahead of us and the Devils. The Devils are having a historic season. Holy crap. 35, 2-5? Wow. How much wins do you guys think they finished the season off with? Do they hit 65, 70 wins? Because that is an unreal season so far for them. They're definitely a first-round exit, though. Let's take a look at our team stats and player stats so far for the season, and I'll show you guys the trading block, and then that'll be it for this episode. So yeah, we're the third best team in the league right now. We are the second best offensive team, obviously only behind the Devils, who are just killing it this year for some reason. Goals against per game wise, we are the fourth best defensive team despite all our shutouts, which is kind of interesting, but it's quite close of a race for the top 5 defensive teams right now. Power play percentage wise, we're not doing too good on our power play. That's interesting. Kind of surprising, 18.1%. Our penalty kill is doing pretty solid though, 84.7%. We only have one short-handed goal, 12, 6, and 4 on home ice, but 17 and 2 on the road. That's impressive. And look at New Jersey though, for example. They're 19, 0, and 4 on the road. They have not lost a road game in regulation. And they've only lost 2 in regulation on home ice. That's unreal. I think that might be the best start I've seen a team have, especially an AI team too. Let's take a look at our player stats so far, though. Geeky's got 40 points in 41 games. He has not slowed down, plus 24. Love to see that. Armsen's got 28 points in 41 games. Off to a little bit of a slow start, on pace for 56, but I will take it still. Maybe he'll have a strong second half. Spalling, 21 points is really solid, 13 goals. Riley's got 19 points, mostly assists, though. Voloshenko's got 18 points. And then McElhinney, 2 and 5. Agostino is off to a great start again, 47 points in 41 games. He is killing it. He's on pace for, I guess, 94 points this year. So he might not hit 100 points, but he's getting close to almost 1,500 career points. And he did pass 500 goals in his career as well. And he's very close to getting to 1,000 career assists. Unreal. Shishkinov, 21 points only in 41 games. Wow. Shishkinov is falling off harder than I've ever seen. I'm glad I didn't sign him for multiple years. Only 1 year at $7 million, but he's only on pace for 41 points this year. Wow. Yeah, he might end up retiring at the end of the year, to be honest, with that type of point total. Michkov, 55 points is really good, plus 25. Yoshimir's got 36 points in 41 games, plus 19. That's actually really good. He's on pace for a career year, I think. Kagorodov's only got 30 points in 41 games. Yikes. He gets the big bucks and then he decides to dip out and he's on pace for only 60 points, but hopefully he has a good second half of the year. Thomas, 29 points plus 20. That's really good. Lynch has got 28 points in his first season so far. That's actually really good. He might end up winning the Calder. That'd be really nice if he did. Defensively, Okpozo's got 14 points and a plus 14. That's pretty solid for 78. Fairchild, 13 points plus 27. Sasaki, 10 points plus 14. Burkov, 10 points plus 12. Armsden, 9 points plus 20. And Bilesma, 8 points plus 25. I do like the defensive core so far, even though it's been more defensively minded. And goalie-wise so far, Jeff Donovan's been really good this year. 19, 8, and 3 before his injury, 5 shutouts, a 910 save percentage, and a 2.75. And Guillermo Correa, as our backup through 13 games, is 9, 0, and 1 with 2 shutouts, a 933 save percentage, and a 206, which is unreal. That's like crazy good numbers. And then Galiev has played 1 game already since getting called up, and he had a shutout in it. We have a combined 8 shutouts through 3 goalies. That's unreal. And we're still not the best defensive team in the league, which is kind of crazy. Let's take a quick look at the entire league as well for points, just because I'm kind of curious on this. So Fiddler, Desjardins, and Tubert are all tied for 61 points right now. And best goal scorer right now is Michkov, but only by a couple goals. Best defenseman for points so far is Thornton in Seattle. Best goalie so far is Hornquist, who's got 29 wins on the season. Only 2 shutouts, but he's been really good. Donovan's tied for the most shutouts this season. Best save percentage by a starter is Gove with a 921 and Angelides. And it's looking like Angelides might be the Vezina favorite so far. And rookie race wise so far, never mind about Lynch winning Rookie of the Year, because this Pickard guy is on pace for over 100 points in his rookie season. Damn. So there is that. Let's quickly take a look at the trading block, because this episode is around 30 minutes and I want to end this episode soon. So let's take a look at the trading block quickly, just in case you guys want me to make any trades, which I don't think it's necessarily necessary, to be honest, but in case. I don't know if there's really anything that's changed on the block. We also take a quick look actually at what Shelley's been up to in Colorado, because I do want to take a look at that, make sure he's actually getting a chance to play. But if you guys see anything you want me to trade for on the block that we could afford or that we actually need, let me know. And we might make some trades in next episode, but I don't think we need to. I think this team might be still a first round exit though, based on how we're simulating so good. But wow, that guy's signed for 1 year only, but 13.4. There's actually some pretty damn good players on the block, but I'm not really looking to see who's on the block. You guys could like pause the video and let me know at any point if you see anything that you want me to get. And there we go. That's the trading block. So let's take a quick look at what Shelley's been up to in Colorado so far. I'm assuming his numbers have dropped off completely, just because he is dropping in age, or not dropping in age, that'd be nice, but dropping in point totals probably because of that and his potential. I feel like he's only at like 20 points, my guess. And let's see, he's still in Colorado, he's still in 83. He's actually having a great year. 36 points in 41 games, plus 21. That's pretty solid. He's actually on pace for a 40-goal season in his first year in Colorado, as a 35-year-old. That is impressive. He is getting close to 600 career goals. Don't think he'll reach it this season, though. So he might just miss it in his career, but that's good to see that he's actually playing good in Colorado. I just hope we don't have to play him in the playoffs at some point. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Arizona Coyotes franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the trade deadline. We'll simulate the rest of the regular season. And yeah, hopefully this team continues to simulate like this. And hopefully, yeah, we don't end up having to go to play Colorado in the playoffs, because I do not want Shelley to be scoring a lot of goals on me or anything like that. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.